All right, good evening and welcome to this Yoga for Recovery, Realization, and Resilience. My name is Brian and I'm delighted to be here today. Today's class is going to be a semi-restorative, gentle class. And so it is incumbent upon you to ensure that you have whatever you need for that. So I would highly recommend blocks, a bolster if you have one, blanket or blankets. If you'd like a chair to start, we're going to start with the breath of alternate nostril breath. So if you want to sit in a chair for that, that would be wise. And anyway, everything that you need to support yourself in this practice. We're only going to do a couple postures, but we're going to spend a longer period of time in each posture. So we can actually breathe into and feel into the restorative aspect of the posture. And so have that in mind, have that in your sort of awareness. And you might want to clear your passageways. You might want to take a minute to get yourself your support, remembering that our first guiding principle is support precedes action. I have a bolster over here. I have a block back there. I have a strap, and I'll probably be using all of them at some point or another. So we'll see how this goes. So as always, we'll land. We'll get centered in the present moment. We'll let gratitude rise, and then we'll set our intention. And then we'll move into the practice. Should be 45-minute practice, depending on how long we stay in Savasana, in guided rest. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so bring yourself into yourself, come into this place, come into this space, center into a posture of support, whatever that looks like for you, whatever that means for you. Take a moment to find yourself and bring yourself into this moment. And we do that by rooting into whatever part of our body is in contact with something. So feet on the floor, or sits bones in the chair, or on the cushion, or maybe you're lying down, you feel your spine on the mat, legs up the wall, however it is that you are in your posture, feel into that part of your body that's in contact and root into those places as if you could extend roots through those places of contact, holding you firm. As you root in, lengthen through the side body, lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the crown. Experiment with tucking the chin, feel the back of the neck release, and then feel the full length of the spine from the base to the crown. Turn your attention to your internal subtle systems. See if you can feel into the immediate shift that may occur as you align and elongate the spine. You may actually feel a shift happening there. And if you don't worry about it. Just feel whatever it is that you are feeling. But staying elongated, staying aligned, I invite you to bring your attention to your breath. Find the breath as it appears underneath the nasal passages and begin to breathe in and out through the nostrils, following the inhalation all the way in, the exhalation all the way out. And being right there at the beginning of the next inhale and following that inhale in and that exhale. And there's no need to take the breath. We're just receiving the breath that is freely giving, and just being present with that breath as we breathe in and breathe out. And on your next inhale, I invite you to float your hands to your heart in a way that brings awareness to your heart space and allow to arise in your heart space gratitude. A sense of gratitude, maybe a person that you're grateful for that's made it possible for you to be here. Maybe today, just the possibility of gratitude, whatever it is that arises when gratitude is called forth. Take a moment to see that for yourself. See it clearly in your mind's eye. And whatever it is for you that arises when gratitude is called forth, anchor that gratitude right there in your heart space. And then, having established our support and allowed gratitude to rise, I'll invite us, if we choose, to set an intention, perhaps a simple intention, just to keep your gratitude centered in your heart space, or maybe just to be right there with each inhale. But whatever your intention is, I invite you to state it to yourself. Hear yourself in your mind's ear as you state your intention in a clear and declarative voice, as if it is already done. And then I invite you to take a full inhale. And as you exhale, if you choose, allow your chin to drop toward your grateful and intentional heart and offer a benediction to seal your intention as I say, Namo, Namaste. And release your hands, lift your chin, switch your legs if you like, make your posture comfortable in this seated posture as we prepare for our alternate nostril breath. So we're going to breathe in through the left and out through the right, and then in through the right and out through the left. Now, you can use mental awareness to bring your awareness to that nostril, or if your practice involves the use of a hand mover to physically block the nostril, feel free to do that. The inhale and the exhale are equal. Long, deep breath, full inhalation, complete exhalation. Body very still, awareness on the breath in the nostril. Focus at the brow point. If the eyes are closed, if you're comfortable, close your eyes. Focus at the third eye point, the brow point. If you want to keep your eyes open to stay present and aware, just narrow your gaze to something not moving just beyond the tip of your nose. And just be in your breath. So find your posture, lengthen, bring your awareness or your mudra into play and begin. Inhale through the left. Pausing at the top, switch your awareness or your mudra. Exhale out the right. Pausing at the bottom, inhale right. And again, pausing at the top, switching on each exhale, switch your awareness or your mudra, exhale left. Now find your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. You may be going faster or slower than me. That's absolutely how it should be. Just full inhales, deep yogic breathing. Down into the body cavity, pelvic bowl, abdomen, ribs. Exhaling completely. Maybe a little tug at the bottom of the exhale, just making sure all the stale air is released. And just continue. Switching on each inhale. Pausing. Make sure that you're clear in your distinction between the inhalation and the exhalation. Very present, very centered. The awareness is on the breath and the nostril. The focus is at your brow point or at the tip of your nose. You're very much in your own self. Feel into the experience of this for you. Be aware of the subtle changes in your body as you breathe, knowing that you're breathing in when you're breathing in, knowing that you're breathing out when you're breathing out. Just sitting and breathing. Allowing yourself to just be here. Fully present. Moving into stillness, maybe relaxing into your practice, maybe allowing yourself to just be in this mindset.
One more iteration. So that when you next find yourself exhaling out the left, release the awareness, release the mudra, release the shaping. Just be very still. Take a moment to allow yourself to become aware of any shifts that may have occurred. You integrate the practice by just settling into stillness and observing with curiosity what has shifted for us. Where do we feel energy? Where do we feel tightness? What is different now than when we started 5 minutes ago? Notice the effect. Our key word for ourselves today is gentle, kind, compassionate, patient. Whichever one of those is most resonant with you, or maybe you have a different word that's resonant when you're thinking of being gentle with yourself, being kind to yourself. This is a kind practice. We're treating ourselves with respect, care, and inquiry as to, is it wise to be nice to ourselves? With whatever form of gentleness you can, bring yourself around to your mat. We're going to move into a child's pose. Now, again, all of our practices tonight involve the possibility of finding the fullest amount of support available. So perhaps you have a bolster and you want to incorporate your bolster into your practice. Take a wide-legged child's pose. Bring the bolster in between the thighs. And then just allow yourself, wisdom pose, child pose, to come down and be supported by the bolster. This is an option. I need to get this where I can. Okay. The secondary option, perhaps bolsters too much, and you just need a block for your forehead at whatever height is appropriate for you, underneath the forehead, or perhaps underneath the chest. Your practice, you're in the privacy of your own space by design. Find what works for you. Once you've found the basis of your supported practice, go ahead and bring your hands back by your feet, palms up, and allow yourself to release. Find stillness, releasing the shoulders, releasing the lower back, settling in to your breath, and breathing in, and knowing that you're breathing in, and breathing out, and knowing that you're breathing out. I encourage you to find the use of these supports. Feel into the relationship between your body and whatever is supporting it. See if you can allow a little more support, whatever your posture is. See if you can release into trust or surrender. Be gentle by, supported by, held kindly by whatever it is that's supporting you. And then just breathe. Each of these postures is designed to be held for, or to be supported in for a period of time, so we can actually feel into support.
with just curiosity, not attached, no clinging to the support. We're not clutching at our bolsters or our blocks. We're allowing ourselves to be held. Making any micro adjustments you want to make. You start to feel into where you might find perhaps 1% additional support. That's your work. Oh, maybe just a little bit there or there. Just allow yourself to be. Many of us, we go, 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 go. We do. We have a hard time releasing and allowing ourselves to be. Many of us have a difficulty receiving. This is a receptive practice. Can we receive the benefits of being supported in these postures? Breathing deep without exertion. No stress. On your next inhale, take a full inhalation. Extend your arms, extended child's pose. As you exhale, just bring your torso forward over the mat. Come down on your belly. And then gently roll to your back. Now, again, we're going to move into our supine bound angle. So, simply bring the heels toward the hips a little bit until the soles of your feet touch, wherever that is for you. Now, wonderful place for your blocks to support your knees. Just place the block on the outside underneath the knee or the thigh to support yourself here, or your bolster. Bring the hands, one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Lengthen through the crown. If your environment you feel is you have a blanket, maybe you want to put a blanket over you. Maybe a little blanket underneath your head. If your head feels it needs a little pillowing. Maybe you need a blanket over your torso. We're just feeling the belly rise as the breath comes in. You feel the belly rise into that hand. And then we're exhaling, and maybe you feel the heart beating underneath that other hand. And you're allowing yourself to receive, opening. Wonderful thing about having the supports is it releases tension. If I take the supports away, I might get a little more depth in the posture, my knees might get a little lower, but I find that I tense then. I'm actually feeling into tension. I'm actually feeling into working. This is me. Maybe you're different, and it's okay. I mean, I just have a tendency to always want to do, and this particular practice is designed to work where that's not the mode. The mode here is to be, to allow. So maybe I could go further, but I don't need to. Where's the steady, sure center? The calm center. This is a restorative or rejuvenative, a restful practice. Note that restorative, rejuvenative, the root, the rest. Moving on to the breath and the respiration. We allow ourselves to just be. Notice where you have tension in your body. So we're going to experiment with all different forms. See if you can notice where you have tension. And maybe you can breathe into that area. Or perhaps you're like me and you find perhaps that maybe you can't breathe into that tension, but you can soften around it. And what I notice is when I soften, I find support. Allowing thoughts to come and go. Feelings to rise and move through. Just breathing. On your next inhale, take a full inhalation. As you exhale, gently remove any supports. Creating a little space around you. We're going to move into the supine twist. So bring the knees in to the ceiling, the heels in toward the hips. You don't have to overdo it here. Just find the natural place where your heels would reside. And take your arms out to the sides. Create some space. 60 to 90 degrees, create a little space. Inhale here. As you exhale, let both knees fall over to the right. Now again, if you utilize your supports, you can allow yourself find that place where you're not straining or working, you're just resting. You may want to look over your left shoulder a little bit, releasing the tension in the neck. The left shoulder is down and relaxed. Oops, let me get this going. Left shoulder is down and relaxed. The knees are together, but relaxed. So maybe you need to bring your support a little higher so that you can just feel the supports And you're not having to work to press the knees and keep them together. Just breathing here. Lock or bolster. If you have a strap, one of the ways some people do this is they actually wrap the strap around the legs and thighs, so the strap will be around the thighs and the shins, gently holding those together. It helps to release a little bit of the tension that forms in the hips. It's not about how far you go, it's about how supported you can be, how allowing you can be, how receptive you can be. Maybe have an eye cloth. You find that covering the eyes lightly helps you to keep your awareness on the breath. Breathing deep. Full inhale. And complete exhales. On your next inhale, take a full inhalation. As you exhale, gently come back to neutral. We're going to switch to the other side. So, again, find your length in the neutral spine. Set up your supports. Inhale here. Exhale, let the knees fall over to the left. As you maybe look over your right, not required, just feel into the differences for you, where in the placement of your head, your ability to relax the right shoulder, the back of the head, the back of the neck, knees staying together. No stress, no strain, no exertion here, just breathing. Allowing yourself to be. Maybe notice there's a difference one side to the other. I certainly do. We're not fully symmetrical beings. The alignment of the organs within the body is not equally symmetric. And so we should expect and become aware of the slight differences in posture and effect when we move one side to the other. And that's just as it is. Breathing deep here. Just be in your breath. Fully present with yourself, gently, passionately, kindly, patiently. Adjusting into the supports to find perhaps 1% more release, more support. On your next inhale, take a full inhale. As you exhale, bring the knees back center. Remove block or strap or bolster, whatever support you have. Allow your legs to go long and then roll to right. Actually, stay on your back for a moment. If you have, we're going to move into pigeon, which is the last of our poses, the most dynamic of our poses. Now, if you have issues and you wish to do your pigeon from a supine posture, you can use your supports this way. So I'll demonstrate on the left side. We'll bring the left foot onto the block, heel near the hip, take the right foot high. Flex the toes to protect the knee and then roll the right knee away from the face and bring the the right ankle atop the left thigh. And then find the level that's appropriate for you. This is supported. If you like, You can just take your arms down by your sides and let that relax. If you wish to be a little more dynamic, you reach your right hand through your legs, your left hand behind the thigh, and maybe you lift that left foot, maybe not. This is your supine version. So you do that on either side. Otherwise, we're moving into pigeon by rolling onto your belly and then coming into table. And then just bring your left knee outside your left wrist. Now, support yourself here. Great place for the block. Put the block underneath the left hip at whatever height is appropriate for you. And then just bring your hip down. If you can, your left foot will come over behind your right wrist. Maybe that's not appropriate for you. Maybe your foot just stays underneath the body. That's okay. Also, you could use your block or your bolster here to support yourself as you come down and lean forward. One thing that I would suggest, as you get yourself set up, when you get your knee outside your wrist and your foot in the right position, shift the hips back. Shift the hips towards the bottom of your mat. That creates space that allows your hips to fold. The right leg will be straight back or slightly out to the right edge of your mat, creating a little space. Okay, move into your posture. Establish yourself where you need to be. Find your supports. I'm going to demonstrate with the bolster. And then gently release the arms. Walk the hands out so that the chest comes down into supported posture. Turn your cheek or ear, temple to the mat or to the bolster. And just feel into the release. Hips are level. So if one hip is higher than the other, adjust the height of your supports accordingly. And breathe. The further you move your right leg to the right, the more release you have for that right hip. So feel into that. Make your micro adjustments to find where you're most supported and most released. And breathe. On your next inhale, take a full inhalation. And as you exhale, gently walk yourself out of your posture. Shift the hips forward, untangle the legs. Take a moment here just to stretch that left leg long. Maybe lift it, move it a little bit. And then set up for your other side. Again, making whatever adjustments you need to make to your support. So we're going to bring that right knee up outside the right wrist. And then let that right foot come across toward the left wrist. Shift the hips back. Establish your supports if and when you need, if and how you need them to be. I'm going to demonstrate with the bolster. You've established yourself. Gently bring yourself down. Torso comes down. Maybe turn your opposite cheek, temple to the mat. Just breathing in here. Releasing and allowing yourself to be supported. On your next inhale, take a full inhalation. As you exhale, gently press yourself back up out of this. Shift the hips forward. Uncurl the right leg. Extend the right leg long. Maybe move it gently just to get a little movement, blood flow back in it, and then gently roll to your back for your guided rest posture. Now, take a moment to give yourself full support in guided rest. So maybe you want to put your bolster underneath your knees. Maybe you want to fold your blanket and place it underneath your head. Maybe you want to cover your eyes with an eye cloth. Maybe you want to cover your body with your blanket or your shawl. Feel into the fullest amount of support that you can find. And then just simply release. Feel the fullness of the back, the full back in the body being supported in this posture. Allow yourself to let go. All of the previous postures preparing you for this final release. Resting fully, deeply. Allowing the awesome power of silence to imbue your rest with poignancy, depth, meaning.
Gently return your attention to your breath. Bring awareness back to your body by gently wiggling your fingers and your toes, perhaps rolling your ankles and your wrists. As you begin to feel yourself and your body realigning, gently bring your knees toward the ceiling, your heels toward your hips. Extend the right arm alongside the head, bicep by the ear. When you are ready, and only when you are ready, slowly roll to your right side, using that arm to cradle your head and neck. Take a moment on your right side to realign and reacclimate, to prepare to be upright again. Allow yourself to just feel into realigning with the world. As you are ready, bring your left hand in front of your chest and use that left arm for leverage as you gently press yourself back to a seated posture. And as you come back into your seated posture, I'll invite you once again, if you choose, to bring your hands to your heart in a way that brings awareness to your heart space, and to allow to arise perhaps one more thing for which you are grateful. Maybe this practice. But whatever it is, as you rest yourself in gratitude, as you sit in gratitude and supported gratitude in your space, I'll take this opportunity to extend my sense of gratitude to you from this space. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your practice. I'm honored to be here, truly. And as always, I invite and encourage you to stay here in grateful rest as long as you like. And when you do rise, please take your gratitude and the echoes of your practice with you as you go through the remainder of your day, lifting everyone that you come into contact with. Have an amazing day.